All right, this area here is the side of the property next to the unit that I'm occupying. And this also has its unique challenges and, um, problems that we can design for solutions with, okay? So starting over here, this is the side of the structure, the building, okay? And then that's the front porch there. It comes off. And then we got this walkway here. Now, my idea with this, my concept that I originally have is that I want to put a greenhouse right here, right? Sun comes this way. That's south. That's east. And then this is west. So the sun comes directly overhead during the summer. During the winter, it'll kind of come a little bit more at a lower angle in the sky over here, okay? So we can build our greenhouse so that it gets all of our summer sun, but it also has an angle on it where it'll get that winter, that colder weather, that lower sun, that southern sun, right? Um, Now everybody, including myself, I need a workshop, I need a garage, I need a space indoors where I can park my vehicle, store my tools, the things that I need, and have a space out of the weather that I can protect these things and work when, the weather gets a little crazy on us, right? So that idea would be to put one right here, okay? Metal building, I think I measured out 25 by 30 or 30 by 30 would fit in this space. Now with that, there's zoning and I have to figure out, talk to them and whatever else. But also you see this pipe right here. This is where the septic system is. And I don't know exactly where the septic tank is. I don't know what that, where all that components are. But going down this hill here, which we'll get to in just a second, is probably the leach field as well, right? So I need to get a hold of county sewer or those guys and have them come out and do a survey and let me know exactly where this is, right? And another important thing to note on that is that before we start getting into digging up swales or installing ponds or any of this, we need to make sure that one, we're in compliance with local regulations, because it would be a terrible thing to do the work and then have the county come in and enforce you or fine you to remove it, or have to pay the fine, right? Which is silly. And I really don't understand the necessity for that other than to put money into the county's pockets. Another conversation for another time. However, there are lines, fiber optic cables, my own plumbing that is running under the ground, and not knowing where that is creates another problem for us. So getting a hold of calling numbers like 811 to come out and identify utilities and really get a concept of what already is going on under the ground will help us design around that or utilize it, for our purposes. But back to this, right? So put a garage building here. On the back of it will be the greenhouse, and then the main house, right? With the path coming through here, maybe the greenhouse is just butt right up next to the house. I haven't decided. Again, this is my initial thoughts on it and where to go. And those will develop over time. The longer that I'm here, the more that I observe the site, okay? That'll allow us to come out, have a space that's close by in our zone 1 to, get our plants, get our seed starts, protect our warmer weather crops, plants during the winter time when it does get cold, and allow us an avenue to get out of weather as well into the garage system there, right? Now, get into animals. Right now, I'm still on the road quite a bit, so I don't have the availability to get animals, chickens necessarily on site. But if I were, this upper portion of the lot would be the best place to put them so that those nutrients that they produce run downhill and get captured in with our next area, right? Or captured by and stored in this next zone, this next area here. Let me get this tripod set up. All right. And this area, it's coming down immediately from there. And it's a pretty good slope, right? I got to get out and do some surveying and really identify the angle of that slope. But looking at it firsthand right now and how steep it is, swales may not be the best bet. Terraced garden beds may be better. Maybe a combination of both. Really looking at it and understanding our sites and where, our slope, our what's going on underneath, and our amount of erosion is, is important for determining what kind of earthworks or what kind of beds we're putting in. If we're to just plant on it as it is right now, this water runoff during heavy rains would just wash all our topsoil, or not topsoil, but the stuff that we put on top, our mulch and all that, and just run it off right down into this pond, our nutrients, all of that. And we don't want that. We want to be able to keep that energy, keep and store and slow and sink that water and those nutrients deep into our soils, starting at our highest points possible, so that all that stuff can leach down into, our groundwater and under our soil surface, to really give our plants a zone to drive their roots down to and fix what needs to be fixed, and then grow better and healthier for us, on the top here. Again, we have, this is the back area, and there's no gutters here either. Gotta set this tripod up again. You guys are getting it live. No, that's super pretty. Again, there's no gutters on the back here. So what initial thoughts are, again, is to run our gutter systems into rain catchment so that we can water the greenhouse. Well, the greenhouse is going to have a roof as well as a garage. That can be its own unique system for water catchment. Here, we can use it, and maybe instead of running it off the corner here, we run it out, they meet in the middle, go down, and we put, maybe we raise fish back here. Maybe we set up an aquaponics system right back here in between these two porches. Maybe we put our chicken coop there where it's close to the house, and we can take our food scraps out, feed it to the chickens. The water catchment, the water that we use, we can run off into a PVC pipe where there's nipples on it, so that I don't need to be here to water. Monitor that will fill up. That PVC will fill up, for the 20 feet that it is from the roof line down, neck down or whatever, and then that'll provide them water that I don't have to continually go out and water. We can set up feeders the same way, where we can just fill a PVC pipe or a feeder off of the back porch, boom, come off, grab our eggs, whatever we need, right? So again, these are just initial thoughts that I have, and the longer that I'm here, those thoughts may change. Another idea with that would be to chicken wire the bottom of this to give them a place to get in and out and away, and then put in a little door right here where I can run tunnels, net tunnels out into the garden beds over in this area, so they can go and they can scratch and dig and do their things and eat the bugs and fertilize it as they go. So that's, stacking functions is another principle that we want to consider as we're doing our walkthroughs on sites and as we're getting into our design processes. All right. So let's start sketching some things out and seeing how they relate and how we can pull these principles in to help us with our design and get going on something to start.